So today we're going to be looking ahead at all of the La Liga Week 2 fixtures, seeing if we can predict the scores for them, just have a bit of fun and see where we get to. Of course, there was not a full game week 1. Many teams will be playing their game week 1 fixture a bit later on in the month, like Real Madrid, Barca, Bilbao, etc. But nonetheless, we're going to get straight into these fixtures, go through them, give you a score prediction, and yeah, let's have some fun. So let's kick it off with Rayo Vallecano. They are taking on Alaves. Obviously, Vallecano kickstarting their season with a 2-1 away loss to Sevilla. There's no doubt about it. Vallecano are way better at home, and they've had an interesting summer with the bit of success they had last year, obviously making a final, had their fingers so close to a piece of silverware, which would have been monumental for them. It would have been amazing. Wasn't to be, of course, because of it. They've lost a couple of key players, but no doubt about it. Vallecano are a much better side at home. Stats always suggest they're statistically way better at home, but they are going to have to come up against an Alaves side, who, by the way, went play Getafe at home. Had to sort of, try and break the walls down at Getafe after they got a red card early doors. Getafe did really well to fight off, and then bang, very late into the game, 75th minute or so, floodgates open, and Mariano Diaz had a cracker of a game, 2 assists and a goal on match week 1 for him. So this is a really interesting clash, actually, one that's very difficult to call. So for just that reason, I'm going to go for a 1-1 on this one. On to the next game, we have Betis taking on Sociedad. Obviously, Sociedad last year just a bit underwhelming season, and I don't really know what to expect from this season. Been a few changes in the club, obviously a few outgoings. Of course, the big one being Brias Mendes, obviously going to Columbus Crew. That was certainly one of the stranger transfers in the La Liga. Obviously, they did get a small fee for him. I think they got sort of €8 million, something around that mark for him. So obviously the money was there to sell him. It's going to be interesting to see how they get on. Obviously, Betis look quite a stable squad. Obviously, are very close to agreeing a deal to get Troy Parrott, from AZ Alkmaar, one of the West Ham targets for a long time, broke down there. Will he be available for tomorrow's game? If he does sign, I'm not sure. I imagine he'll register a bit late. But it should be an interesting game. I'm expecting Betis to go and have a good season, actually. I actually even got to watch one of their pre-season games against Arsenal where they look really good. Fornal's actually getting a goal in that, which is nice as a Hammers fan. But it should be an interesting game, and I'm going to back home side Betis to win, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 Betis win. After that, we've got Atletico Bilbao. They are taking on Sevilla. Atletico Bilbao, obviously, a really poor season last year. They were very riddled with injuries, to be fair. I do think this is the year that Nico Williams puts himself back on the map. I think he's got a big season ahead of him, no doubt about it. Sevilla, obviously, is it the year they finally take the drop? Well, I think a lot of people are predicting they may be near the bottom, but fantastic opening day win, 2 penalties, of course. New signing, a bit of a weird one, wasn't it? Scottish Robbie Uri obviously going there, coming on late and winning the decisive penalty that won Sevilla the game. So really, really interesting match week 1 for the games that were played, of course. But again, very, very interesting one. I think Bilbao will be starting this season strong. They've got no European football to contend with. So I think they're going to have a much better season. I think they're going to push right on this year and sort of push for a top 6 place. So I'm going to go for I can't say that and not go for a Bilbao win. I'm going to go for Bilbao to win 1-0. Moving on, we've got Valencia taking on Celta Vigo. Valencia, oh my God, wow. They really pushed on the back end of last season. We're looking for the world like they might be, that close to drop. And I think they ended up only finishing 2 points off European spots, which was incredible. So, of course, not a crazy amount of money's gone in over the transfer window. Celta Vigo, look, both of these teams haven't played yet. I'd love to sort of give you a tiny bit more, perhaps, but it's a game I don't really know how to call, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I've got Espanyol taking on Real Madrid. Obviously, Espanyol, a bit like Alaves, started their season fantastically well. 3-0 win against Levante. Levante, no doubt about it. I think they're one of my favourites to go down. To be completely honest, I think they look really poor this year, but nonetheless, you still got to go, you still got to win, and they won comfortably. A fantastic 3-0 win for them. They're playing a Real Madrid side who, of course, have made a plethora of signings. We are talking Bernardo Silva, Yan Diamande. I mean, they've made signings in abundance. They look strong all over the pitch. Bellingham's just come back from an unbelievable World Cup, as has Kylian Mbappe. Vinicius has signed his new deal. They've strengthened in all positions. Jose Mourinho is back. Is he going to get him a Liga title? Who knows? But for me, there's no doubt about it. It's going to be a Real Madrid win. I'm going to go Real Madrid to win 3-1. After that, we've got Atletico Madrid. They are taking on Villarreal. Very interesting one, actually. Atletico Madrid. Malaga game was a great result. Obviously, Malaga and another one of those for me, like Levante, are going to struggle. Opening their season, of course, Atletico is really tough to know what to expect. Of course, have made some good signs. They spent some big money. Obviously, Kang Lee came in. A few people expected that he may be a bit of a flop because he's got big shoes to fill in Griezmann, but he scored a sensational solo goal last night against Malaga, an absolutely fantastic goal, proving a few haters wrong, I'm sure. They've also done Romero, Grimaldo. I mean, they have spent money. I think they got Højlund from Sporting, spent big money on him. Of course, they'll be massively let down. I really think they would have been pushing those top two this year if they can keep Alvarez, but he doesn't look like he wants to stay. He's not reporting for training, so that's a really gutting one for them. But I think Atletico, they got a good squad this year, and they're coming up against Villarreal side that haven't really recruited over the summer. They've now got to compete this season. I mean, last year, don't get me wrong, fantastic season for Villarreal. Absolutely fantastic season for them, but they've got to compete with Champions League football now. Obviously, maybe there is time in the window, but haven't recruited enough for me personally. Of course, Racing Santander, they played on a game week 1, 2-2 draw. 2 of their goals coming in like 2 minutes. 2 fantastic goals from Patki and Nicola Pepe. But yeah, I think Atletico at home again. I think Atletico are going to do this one 1-0. Very, very tight game. But as I say, it's only a prediction. Moving on, we've got Getafe taking on Racing Santander. Racing Santander, I like the look of them this year. Obviously, promotion from the Segunda Division. They come up a fantastic opening day draw, I think, against Villarreal, who, as we've just said, they're still a good side, but as the season goes on, will they struggle a bit with trying to balance in the Champions League football and of course the league season. But Racing Santander made some great signings. They look a really quite a good squad on paper. I think maybe them and Deportivo are the two that have come up that I think have a chance of surviving. Playing Getafe, obviously a 3-0 loss opening day of the season. They were very resolute, as we've mentioned, till that very till the floodgates open. Let's just leave it at that. Should be an interesting game, actually. I really don't know how I want to call this, but I'm going to go brave. I'm going to go Racing Santander to go away and take all 3 points. I'm going to go Racing to win 2-1 on this one. Yeah, I'm sure I'll regret that later on, but you got to have fun. Elche are taking on Barcelona. I mean, where do we start with Barcelona? They look like they're going strength to strength. If they can get themselves Julian Alvarez, I think they will be my favourites to win it because obviously lost Lewandowski. Lewandowski's gone. If they can replace Lewandowski with Julian Alvarez and have Rodri sat in that midfield, Yamal on one side, Rafinha on the other, they just look. If they can keep that squad fit, they just look so unbelievably good. It's a joke. I mean, adding Rodri is just a sensational addition to the squad. And if they get Alvarez as well, they will seriously be my favourites to win the league this year. Quite comfortably as well. So anyway, they're going away to Elche, opening day of season. God, I don't think it's a case of how many opening day, but I think it's going to be fairly comfy for Barca. I'm going to go 2-0 win. Second to last game, we have Osasuna. They are taking on Levante. We've already touched on Levante, the away side, very slightly. I think they're going to massively struggle this year. Obviously, they lost Carlos Espí to Real Madrid. And I think the thing with Carlos Espí and the reason people are talking about him so much and why it's such a big loss for Levante is that statistically he was single-handedly the wrong word, but you feel like if they didn't have him from that sort of spell of February onwards, that they probably wouldn't have survived. He was just sensational last year for Levante, and I think losing him, as well as they have lost a couple other players as well, I just don't think they'll be strong enough to stay up. And I think game week 1 proved that they're certainly going to struggle this year, and it's going to be a real test for them to stay up. They are playing Osasuna side, of course, who have also lost a couple of players, including one of their key youngsters as well. Victor Munoz has obviously gone to Liverpool. But I'm actually backing Osasuna to have quite a good season. So for that reason, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Osasuna win. And then we touch on our last game. May sound a bit weird, but for me personally, this is one of the most interesting for me. This is one of the most exciting for me. You've got Malaga taking on Deportivo La Coruna. And I got to admit, this is interesting because, I mean, Malaga, it's a miracle they're here. I do think they're going to go down. I would love to see them stay up, but I don't think they will. But Malaga, should they even be here? I mean, their squad is just full of academy. Their manager, of course, was the academy manager. They're, how many players have they actually paid for in the last 8-9 years? It's probably only a couple. It's a fantastic feat that they're here. It's one of the stories of the season, but also they're playing Deportivo La Coruña, who just look really good. They are, out of the 3 promoted sides, I would say they're the ones I think will finish highest. I don't think they'll be in a relegation scrap at all. Start the season with a good 1-1 draw. Of course, Aubameyang getting back on the score sheet. What a signing that might prove to be. I think that will be a fantastic signing just to get the experience in the ranks, a proven goal scorer, and what a lovely finish it was into the bottom corner, to kickstart their season. It was a really, really good finish. But of course, overall, on the pitch style, they've made some great signings. They've made some absolutely fantastic signings, and I think they're destined to have a really, really good season this year. So for me, I think they're going to go away to Malaga and get a narrow 2-1 win. So there you go. All 10 of our opening day fixtures have been predicted. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know your score predictions. I'll try to put all the fixtures in the description below, so you copy and paste and put your predictions below. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Should be really, really good. Some really, really good games to kick off the full first game week, if that makes sense. The full first 10-game week will be really interesting. Kicks off tonight, of course. Let's see how it goes. Let me know your predictions. See you next one.